Okay, this is my F650GS salvage bike that I bought off of a well-known auction website, and I have got a problem with it already. I knew that when it was coming, so that it was a non-starter on the listing. So what we've got is the ignition barrel here has been jammed by someone trying to. Well, they've broken the steering lock by the looks of it. Someone trying to get in there. You can put the key in. If I find the key. Where are you? Key. Come here. Not very good videoing. So the key goes in and it just won't turn. So that's stuck. I have taken quite a lot of bits off already to get this far. I'm going to continue disassembling, but I needed to get here to the yoke bolts are out. I've got to take out this main bolt here, and then we can lift this assembly out. And I also want to disconnect the wiring loom. So I've got to get, I think, this plastic bit off here to get in there. So anything, yeah, it's under here somewhere. So I'm just going to get more taking apart and get into here, and then we're going to get underneath this. It's going to have some shear bolts in it, which are going to be drilled and then stud extracted, so we can get to this. And then I reckon pretty soon after that we'll have a bike that would start. I mean, the bike's needing a little bit of TLC. It's old and a bit rusty, but I'd say BMW build quality is not bad, seeing as it is 20 years old, and it looks like it has lived quite a life generally outside, and we will get to work on it. So we're going to get, I might get my impact driver and just see if I can get this nut off here, and then we can pull up the yoke and get to the steering lock. Also probably need to remove some of this plastic stuff to get down to the wiring connector. So there we go. So that's coming up as 30mm. Right, might actually try first of all with the breaker bar. It's not too bad. Got that, and then I don't know whether that needs to come out as well. Going to cable tie the handlebars out of the way so that we can get access to the yoke a bit easier. I've got a long enough cable tie. Just using a piece of wood to ease this off. Gentle. Looks like we're getting there. Right. Nice. So that's off. Now we just got to get to the wiring loom and get the wiring disconnected. Otherwise, we won't be able to take the whole thing off. Right, it's confusing. That one's T20 and this one's the T15. Just get that one out. Got some T45s here as well, so I'm going to take this off. I think this is probably what actually needs to come off. I've got T30 here to get the oil tank. That's fixed on the side. I see. So this bit here looks like it's where the air filter is. This bit on top sits on top and it pops out. So I'm hoping we've got, so there is a breather hose at the bottom. Let me just come around and get that off. Right. Let's take this apart. I mustn't lose the screws. Wow. Okay, so we've got an airflow sensor on that intake, one side. So we have a very, very dirty air filter, which is going to need replacing. So that is shot by my estimation. Poor bike. So that's not been looked after very well. It's going in the bin. So we have got on this air intake bit, we've got a what looks like an airflow sensor. So if I can get my camera around, so that has got a connector on it. I've got an airflow sensor on this intake part, so it's got a clip which looks like it needs to be pulled up in order to release it, which I can't do because I'm too weak. Can I prise it up with a Torx key? Yes. Actually, it may. The whole thing may come out of this, right? So that's the clip out. Well, excuse me. Right, clip out. That's one thing I've been searching for, is the OBD connector. So I'm going to buy a adapter so that I can connect up my OBD2 reader to that. So I can get some onboard diagnostics. Let's see if there's anything else going on. I mean, one of the reasons why I'm really stripping all this down, a lot of it is, other than obviously getting to various parts and components, is it's very dirty. So I just want to get it all stripped down so at least it can have a clean. And I think even with a clean, you know, regardless of whether the rust situation and anything else, I think just with a clean, it will make the whole thing look a lot nicer and happier. So this has got loads of oil in it. I assume that there's something going on here with there's some kind of oil. Maybe it takes oil back into the engine. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this bike. I'm usually had twins, never singles, or twins, fours, but never a single. So I'm just going to have to work my way around it slowly. Might be a bit ponderous and not very exciting, but just got to work my way around slowly to work out what I'm doing with this and exactly how to get everything disassembled and taken apart. Stuff. Just spilled oil all over the floor. Excellent day, and all over the side of the bike. I think I might disconnect this tank, disconnect this oil tank, and I'll let that go to the side. Make sure that's done up so it doesn't leak as well. This is the oil tank. I'm going to drain it out before I start moving it around. I can get it undone. Well, I'll finish off to drain it properly at a later point, but I just want to get the majority of the oil out of this so that I can work on it more easily. I'll just nip that up so that we are getting oil dripping out. It's very tight, doesn't need to be tight. Right, that's that. So that makes that lighter. And I've just got to get this prized off of here. See if I can find a prizing tool. Oh, make it hard, why don't you? This is the other, I mean, I'm not familiar with this bike at all. So I bought this, like I said, bought it on an auction site and as a project. So the part of the joy of a project is the challenge, is trying to work out how to do the damn thing. But you are going to probably get my slowness in this because I'm not very familiar with it. So taking it apart and putting it back together is probably going to be a bit slower than it would if I had a familiar bike. But I'm sure I'll get there in the end. Right, it's just stiff. Slightly stronger metal trim tool. Get it off. Let's see, that one comes off easily now. Right, I can drop that down, so I've got a bit more vision, so I can see where I'm going. Okay, now where are we? I wonder if I've got to get under this chappy here, get in to see where the electronics plug back in. It looks like it comes down, under, and up again. Starter solenoid there as well, which can move out the way. Yeah, I reckon this is coming off. I think this is a T30. Plastic cover coming off. What's the plastic on here? I'm going to have fun remembering where all these go, but I'm good at memorizing these things. Let's see how we get on. Right. Aha! Right. Now we've got some relay. We have got to our wiring connectors. Excellent. Right. And now I've got to just work out where that routes from the back down. Oh, it's just all over the place. one thing I hate about motorbikes is when they tuck the wiring all over the place. This is a relatively advanced bike, I guess, because it's got a lot of looks like it's got a lot of electronic stuff on it, even for 2004. It's got that because usually the bike tanks on the front, say on the Suzuki, the back tanks on the front, the fuel tanks on the front, and then on this bike it's at the rear. Obviously they've designed it a certain way, and you know, it's a cool design, but I guess unless you're familiar with BMW motorbikes, which I'm not, it does make it a bit more of a headache. So this comes off as well by the looks of it, but I have got access into there. So let's get these cable ties clipped and work out where this ignition wire comes down, and then we can get the ignition out, the ignition barrel out, and that'll be like the first major job. Let's just move this oil so I don't trip over it and make a big mess. I'm not sure this is the best way to do it, but so we've got a lead running down here, which is cable tied. Lots of other cable ties that I'm going to ruin. I've got to get this wire out in order to get to it. And it comes around this side. Aha, we found it. Right, so it's going to come up here again, coming into this bundle. Let's get this one off. I think the rebuild price will probably be pushed up by the number of cable ties. There we go in here. I've got to find where this chappy plugs in. Aha! Right. Right over to here. So it's plugged in there. Finally. Hallelujah. Right, one connector. So now we've got to pull that somehow out through past everything else. They certainly rammed it all in. I'm not sure I'm going to get that out without removing more bits. This is going to come off. Wow, this is one put together bike. We've got a couple of 10mm bolts here where the battery tray is. Got this kind of plate thing here. Assuming it's plastic. That seems to clip off. If you were to manipulate that round. Other than it's got the throttle cable going through it, so it won't just come out, but can maneuver out of the way. That's out of the way. Look, so with that out of the way, is there enough room to just gently get this through? Aha, fantastic. Will it go through the other gap? We can pull it through from the other side. All this just to get the ignition switch out. There you go. But okay, here we go. Lift. Oh, that's a bit of a faff. Right. So now we have our ignition barrel, which is what we wanted. And you can see in the back, we've got some lovely shear bolts. And we're going to have to see how to get those out. And you can see where it's been, someone's tried to steal it, but this has got jammed. The locking, the handlebar lock has got wedged in there. So we're going to have to work out how to get that out. But to start with, I just wanted to get to this bit. Then I'm going to drill these and use a stud extractor, and we will get everything taken apart, and hopefully the ignition barrel will work again. The other thing as we go along as well, I'm going to be cleaning everything up, so it's going to get hopefully gradually cleaner and look a bit nicer regardless of what the corrosion is. But there's nothing fundamentally wrong with it, it's just old and needs cleaning up.